A fundamental attribution error. We judge others based on their personality or fundamental character, but we judge ourselves on the situation. Why'd you say that he was one shot? You always do that. You always get it wrong. You're exaggerating all the time. Oh yeah, well, I didn't know how much health he had. How was I meant to know that? He must have done something weird. Self-serving bias. Our failures are situational, but our successes are our responsibility. Oh yeah, like there's no way we could have won that final zone. Like they had the zone, they were just super lucky it came to them. We completely outplayed them there. We just knew what we were doing. They were bots, they were terrible. In-group favoritism. We favor people who are in our in-group as opposed to an out-group. I can't stand these bunny hoppers. They're terrible. They're just like completely spoiling the game. The bandwagon effect. Ideas, fads and beliefs grow as more people adopt them. There's no way we could win. Like, obviously everybody's hacking. You've seen it all over Twitter. Everybody's hacking, so there's no way good players like us can ever win. Groupthink. Due to a desire for conformity and harmony in the group, we make irrational decisions, often just to minimize conflict. Oh yeah, J God is saying like actually the combat shotgun is the new meta. Like, that's the gun we should be using. But you want to snipe, like you want to snipe in this game. Okay, yeah, we can do that too. That's fine. Halo effect. If you see a person as having a positive trait, that positive impression will spill over to their other traits. This also works for negative traits. I can't stand that streamer. Like he must definitely be hacking. Moral luck. A positive outcome comes from better moral standing and a worse outcome happens because of a worse moral standing. See, we won that because we were playing this the right way. We stopped camping and that's why we won, because we were doing the right thing. A false consensus. We believe more people agree with us than is actually the case. Everybody hates the Krampus. Have you seen on the COD subreddit? Everyone is saying everybody hates the Krampus. I don't get why they even put it in a game when literally everybody hates it. The curse of knowledge. We assume that once we know something, everybody else is going to know it too. Oh look, 2 loadout boxes dropped. That means there's another team somewhere around here. What do you mean you didn't know that? Spotlight effect. We overestimate how much people are paying attention to our behavior and our appearance. That guy was definitely a stream sniper. Availability heuristic. We rely on immediate examples that come to mind while we make judgments. We should definitely go to Resort. I just saw Jack Frags win a game there. Like, if you go there, we're definitely going to win. Defensive attribution. As a witness who secretly fears being vulnerable to a serious mishap, we'll blame the victim less and the attacker more if we relate to the victim. It did look like he was camping, and maybe that was a bad idea, but I think, like, really, what else could he have done? Like, he was in a really bad situation, it was near the end of the zone, he needed to hide in that house. I think that was the right call still. Just world hypothesis. We tend to believe the world is just, therefore we assume acts of injustice are deserved. He got his account banned. I mean, he was definitely hacking then. Like, they're not going to ban someone who wasn't hacking. Naive realism. We believe that we observe objective reality, and other people are irrational, uninformed, or biased. Yeah, I've heard about that UAV glitch, but I've never had it happen to me. Like, I don't think it's a thing. Naive cynicism. We believe that we observe objective reality and that other people have a higher egocentric bias than they actually do in their intentions and actions. That player keeps on coming for me. He must be stream sniping or something. Like, he's not doing anything other than attacking me. He must be, like, obsessed with me. The Four effect, or the Barnum effect. We easily attribute our personalities to vague statements, even if they can apply to a wide range of people. I'm one of those players that slide cancels, so like I'm pretty serious, I know what I'm doing. The Dunning-Kruger effect. The less you know, the more confident you are. The more you know, the less confident you are. Raven could easily add a field of view slider to consoles. I mean, like, I've never made a video game myself, but I'm sure it's just like flicking a switch on the engine or something. Anchoring. We rely heavily on the first piece of information introduced when making decisions. J-God said it's a meta. Well, I'm using it then. Automation bias. We rely on automated systems, sometimes trusting too much in the automated correction of actually correct decisions. It doesn't really feel like Full Metal Jacket's working, but the game says it does. The game says that it increases penetration or something. It must be right. Google effect, aka digital amnesia. We tend to forget information that's easily looked up in search engines. What's the Russian number for 3 again? Reactance. We do the opposite of what we're told, especially when we perceive threats to personal freedoms. Raven said don't use that finishing move or it crashes this whole server. I'm definitely going to use it. Confirmation bias. We tend to find and remember information that confirms our perceptions. Everybody's hacking in Warzone. I've seen so many articles talking about how hacking is like the worst problem in Warzone. Backfire effect. Disproving evidence sometimes has the unwarranted effect of confirming our beliefs. Oh, so that hatch wasn't actually an Easter egg. Probably none of the hatches are anything important then. There's never going to be an Easter egg ever again. Third person effect. We believe that other people are more affected by mass media consumption than we ourselves are. You bought a cosmetic bundle. Those adverts are definitely getting to you. You're such a sucker. Belief bias. We judge an argument's strength not by how strongly it supports a conclusion, but how plausible that conclusion is in our own minds. You heard someone at Raven made a new map in a week. Yeah, that sounds about right. Availability cascade. Tied to our need for social acceptance, collective beliefs gain more plausibility through public reception. Did you hear that Treyarch had to take over on Black Ops Cold War from Raven and Sledgehammer because they fell out the last minute, and then Treyarch made all of Black Ops Cold War in a year, and then Sledgehammer made Vanguard the next year in a year and made another full game? I mean, everyone's saying it, so it must be true, right? Declinism. We tend to romanticize the past and view the future negatively, believing society's institutions are by and large in decline. Verdansk was amazing. Like, that map was basically perfect. I mean, Caldera is just trash, and then whatever they're going to do for the next Warzone map is definitely going to be terrible. Status quo bias. We tend to prefer things that stay the same. Changes from the baseline are considered to be a loss. Have you seen that they've changed the way loadouts work? Like, that's definitely going to be a terrible decision. There's no way that could work. Sunk cost fallacy, aka escalation of commitment. We invest more in things that have cost us something rather than altering our investments, even if we face negative outcomes. I mean, I kinda hate grinding out these weapon camos, but I've already done like 2 different categories of them, so I might as well do the other 6. Gambler's fallacy. We think future possibilities are affected by past events. We're on an absolute roll. We've won 3 games in a row. We're definitely going to win the next one. Zero risk bias. We prefer to reduce small risks to 0, even if we can reduce more risk overall with another option. If we go for that loadout, we might get killed. It's probably better just to sit here in this house and just forget about the loadout altogether. Framing effect. We often draw different conclusions from the same information depending on how it's presented. Your kill-death ratio is 0.9. That sounds terrible. That means like you die more than you get kills. Your kill-death ratio is like 0.1% above the average. Then you must be pretty good at Warzone. Stereotyping. We adopt generalized beliefs that members of a group will have certain characteristics, despite not having any information about the individual. They're using a rose skin. They are definitely terrible people. Outgroup homogeneity bias. We perceive outgroup members as homogenous and our own in-groups as more diverse. All the kids that play Warzone probably hopped up on energy drinks, cheating, and then whining about everything. Authority bias. We trust and are more often influenced by the opinions of authority figures. Well, J-God said it, so it's true. Placebo effect. If we believe a treatment will work, it will often have a small physiological effect. Man, Jack Frackers was so right. He said Discord was meta, and I'm getting so many kills of it. Survivorship bias. We tend to focus on those things that survived the process and overlook the ones that failed. Man, everyone's so good at Warzone. Whenever you're spectating people at the end, they've all got so many kills. Tachypsychia. Our perceptions of time shift depending on trauma, drug use, and physical exertion. He killed me so fast, like how could anyone react that quick? The law of triviality, or bike shedding. We give disproportionate weight to trivial issues, often while avoiding the more complex issues. I know I keep losing these gunfights. I think I'm using the wrong reticle. That's probably what it is. The Zeigarnik effect. We remember incomplete tasks more than completed ones. I'm absolute trash at Warzone. Like, I lose every single game. The IKEA effect. We place higher value on things that we partially created ourselves. I know it's not the one that was recommended in the videos, but I'm going to use this AK-47 loadout. Like, I put it together and I think it's going to work. The Ben Franklin effect. We like doing favours. We're more likely to do another favour for someone if we've already done a favour for them than if we'd received a favour from that person. Oh, don't worry, I'll res you again. I'll get you. Don't worry about it. The bystander effect. The more other people are around, the less likely we are to help a victim. Oh, what? The rando's gone down? I mean, I don't know. Someone will probably revive him. Let's not worry about it. Suggestibility. We, especially children, sometimes mistake ideas suggested by a questioner for memories. Oh man, I forgot to open my parachute. What do you mean, did I get sniped? Oh yeah, maybe I did get sniped. False memory. We mistake imagination for our real memories. Oh man, can you remember when that nuke went off and know your history? Cryptomnesia. We mistake real memories for imagination. Did I just see a guy? Was that a person? No, I probably didn't hear anything. The clustering illusion. We find patterns and clusters in random data. Every time we say it's our last game of the night, that's the game that we win. Pessimism bias. We sometimes overestimate the likelihood of bad outcomes. There's no way that we're going to be able to win this. Look at the zone. Optimism bias. We sometimes are over-optimistic about good outcomes. There's no way we could lose this. The blind spot bias. We don't think we have bias, and we see it in others more than in ourselves. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a video of like a list of all of the other stupid things that other people do in Warzone.